The Cold War wasn't limited to nuclear weapons, spies, and agent warfare. It was also an era that witnessed the most extraordinary experiments, ones in which the human mind, intuition, and psychic abilities were transformed into tools of intelligence. And at the center of these experiments stood one of the most powerful intelligence agencies in the world, the CIA. Classified documents were hidden from the public for years. But in 1988, traces of an astonishing covert mission began to surface. The CIA had tasked a psychic agent with locating the Ark of the Covenant. Yes, you heard that right. Without taking a single physical step, they tried to locate an ancient and sacred artifact using only mental focus. This mission was no ordinary operation. It was a unique exploration carried out at the crossroads of science, faith, and intelligence. Just imagine, an object that symbolizes God's covenant with his people, that carries the legacy of prophets, and is considered one of the most sacred and controversial relics in religious history. And searching for it was the most powerful intelligence agency in the world, the CIA. Sounds strange, doesn't it? But this was truly one of those rare moments when ancient secrets collided with modern intelligence. In this video, we'll trace an experimental and mind-bending operation from a CIA agent emerging from behind the closed doors of a secret lab to one of the most mysterious artifacts in history, the Ark of the Covenant. Let's uncover this mystery together. By the way, if you enjoy this kind of content, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and like the video. Your support means a lot to me. Welcome to my channel, Discovery of the Mystery, where we will uncover the secrets. Behind the scenes of the Cold War, among redacted documents and secret experiments, lies a story that pushed the boundaries of the human mind. In this story, the unknown dimensions of consciousness intersected with an ancient sacred artifact, the Ark of the Covenant. In 1988, under a CIA program known as Project Sunstreak, which had been kept secret for years, a psychic agent was assigned an extraordinary task: to locate the long-lost Ark of the Covenant using only the power of the mind. And perhaps they succeeded. We don't know whether the agent completed the mission, but the fact that this operation appears in declassified CIA documents and was later revealed to the public makes it one of the most intriguing disclosures in modern history. Once dismissed as pseudoscience, the technique of remote viewing was, in fact, quietly supported, studied, and utilized by American intelligence over the course of many years. Project Sunstreak was not the CIA's only initiative exploring these kinds of abilities. Prior programs operating under names like Project Stargate, Grill Flame, and Center Lane also systematically trained and deployed individuals with remote viewing skills. The primary goal of these projects was to gather intelligence on targets that could not be accessed through traditional means. The participants in these programs underwent rigorous training under strict protocols. Although the projects faced criticism when they were made public in the mid-1990s, some of the results were reportedly too accurate to be dismissed as coincidence. Therefore, considering the CIA's history with such techniques, using remote viewing to locate an object as historically and spiritually significant as the Ark of the Covenant isn't all that surprising. Remote viewing was a method that aimed to mentally access locations, objects, or events that were otherwise unreachable by conventional means. It was based on theories, often rooted in quantum physics, that the mind is not limited by time or space. At the core of this technique was the belief that matter and energy are interconnected, that everything in the universe is in constant interaction. According to this view, the human mind could reach distant targets across thousands of kilometers through focused intent alone. As outlined in the declassified CIA document, the remote viewer's task was both clear and remarkable: to describe the Ark of the Covenant and determine its exact location. The psychic agent's report was vivid, almost like a scene pulled straight from a movie. It described a mysterious chest made of wood, covered in gold and silver. The shape of the chest resembled a coffin adorned with seraphim, six-winged angelic figures found in ancient religious texts. This description matched perfectly with historical and sacred accounts of the Ark of the Covenant. Believed to have been built by Moses under God's command, this sacred artifact was said to carry the tablets of the Ten Commandments, and according to legend, possessed supernatural powers ranging from halting the flow of rivers to destroying enemy armies. The remote viewer didn't just describe the exterior of the chest, but also the surrounding environment in remarkable detail. The report stated that the Ark was hidden underground in a dark and damp location. This place was somewhere in the Middle East, buried beneath the earth. Environmental clues observed included mosque domes, people wearing white robes speaking Arabic, and structures featuring typical Middle Eastern architecture. One striking detail was the description of a man with black hair, dark eyes, and a prominent mustache. This figure didn't appear to be a product of imagination, but gave the impression of being a mental projection of a real person. The atmosphere surrounding the Ark's location was also described with precision: damp, underground, and most likely a long-forgotten cave or a buried chamber. But what made this report truly fascinating wasn't just the physical details. The remote viewer also reported spiritual and metaphysical impressions. According to him, the Ark wasn't just a historical or religious object. It was charged with deep meanings such as resurrection, unity, memory, and reverence. It was described as a kind of spiritual technology, a source of knowledge from the past that modern human minds had yet to comprehend. The most striking element that set this session apart from conventional archaeological speculation was the claim that the Ark was not guarded by humans, but by non-human entities. According to the remote viewer, these beings were not symbolic. They were real and still actively performing their duty. They were present to ensure the Ark would not be disturbed. The document stated that only those authorized to access the object could approach it. Anyone attempting to force it open would face instant and deadly consequences. These guardians, it was claimed, intervened through an unknown form of energy or power. This assertion aligned with many traditional religious warnings about the Ark, that touching it improperly could lead to immediate death. Another element that made the report even more compelling was its tone. There was no exaggeration, no mystical language. The remote viewer reported his observations with clarity, discipline, and objectivity, in line with the demands of a military-style operation. There were no emotional embellishments or personal interpretations. The object, its structure, design, and surrounding environment were all described with clinical precision. The report also mentioned that inside the main chest, there appeared to be an inner compartment. This detail opened the door to theories suggesting that the Ark may not only contain the tablets of the Ten Commandments, but also other unknown sacred objects. At first glance, the CIA's interest in the Ark of the Covenant may seem exaggerated or speculative. However, it's well known that during the Cold War, experiments involving psychic abilities were often supported by extraordinary missions. These psychic espionage operations range from locating enemy missile bases to investigating possible remnants related to extraterrestrial beings. And all of this is part of the documented history of American intelligence. Such programs were backed by research institutions like SRI International, and some physicists and high-ranking military officials held a strong belief that the human mind could reach a broader level of perception. Although the 1988 document did not reveal the Ark's exact geographic location, many who have reviewed the report believe the described site could be a buried chamber either beneath Jerusalem's Temple Mount or near the Dead Sea. Other theories point to the ancient city of Petra in Jordan or to the Church of Our Lady Mary of Zion in Aksum, Ethiopia, long associated with legends of the Ark. However, if the CIA's remote viewing session is taken seriously, the most compelling clue may not lie in traditional locations, but in an unknown area not found in history books, where mosque domes are seen, Arabic is spoken, and a great secret lies hidden in the desert. The reliability of remote viewing has long been a subject of debate. Some experts argue that the method yields inconsistent results and cannot be replicated scientifically. Supporters, however, claim that when conducted under controlled conditions by trained individuals, the method can reveal information that would otherwise be inaccessible. Descriptions of the Ark's structure, its double-layered inner compartment, seraphim figures, and deadly consequences for unauthorized access, all align closely with portrayals of the Ark found in Hebrew scriptures and mystical religious texts. Furthermore, the belief that the Ark carries not just physical objects, but metaphysical or encoded knowledge, turns it into a unique object that bridges the sacred and the scientific. Some researchers suggest that the Ark might actually be an ancient form of technology, one that emits energy or facilitates communication. Its ability to bring people together and deliver divine knowledge elevates it from being merely a holy vessel to a possible communication device between God and humanity. Were the guardians described by the remote viewer truly spiritual beings from another dimension? Or were they advanced beings, perhaps even extraterrestrials, who placed the Ark there, protected it, and continue to watch over it? The idea that the Ark is protected by a destructive force, when tampered with, calls to mind both religious accounts of ancient Hebrew priests dying upon touching it and cinematic depictions like the one in Indiana Jones, Raiders of the Lost Ark. Though it may sound fictional, these details evoke a strange resonance within the collective memory. Perhaps the most mysterious and unsettling aspect of this session is the claim that the Ark can only be opened when the right time comes. This suggests that the Ark is somehow programmed to unlock only under specific prophetic, spiritual, or cosmic conditions. This concept closely aligns with beliefs that the return of sacred relics marks a transformation in humanity or the arrival of a messianic age. Whether interpreted as religious prophecy or symbolic myth, the message is clear. The Ark was never lost. It is still hidden, still protected, and waiting for the right moment. The CIA's interest in the Ark of the Covenant and its use of remote viewing may fall outside the bounds of traditional historical narratives. But for those seeking to explore the limits of consciousness and perception, the 1988 Project Sunstreak document offers more than just a glimpse into the search for a lost artifact. It is a powerful account that compels us to think about history, spirituality, and the boundless potential of the human mind. And perhaps, 30 years ago, in a dimly lit room, a psychic agent may have touched the presence of the Ark, not with his hands, but with his mind. And in doing so, revealed that humanity's greatest treasure was never truly lost, only waiting to be seen. The Ark of the Covenant remains one of the most mysterious and deeply meaningful relics in human history. Believed to have been built by direct command of God during the Israelites' long and arduous journey through the Sinai Desert, the Ark was not merely a sacred object. It symbolized divine power, judgment, and protection. According to the Bible, after the Israelites left Egypt, Moses, following God's instruction, told the people to build a special chest to hold the stone tablets inscribed with the 10 Commandments. These tablets were said to be no ordinary stones, crafted from gold originating from the Garden of Eden, representing the universal balance between good and evil. God gave extremely detailed instructions for how the Ark was to be made. It was to be built from acacia wood, approximately 1.14 meters long and 68 centimeters wide, and covered inside and out with pure gold. 2 cherubim with wings outstretched were to be placed on top, forming a sacred shadow known as the mercy seat. The idea that a people wandering the desert for 40 years with primitive tools could construct such a complex and aesthetically refined object has led many to believe it was nothing short of a miracle. Because of this, tradition holds that God granted divine skill to a specific individual to fulfill this sacred task. Over time, the Ark became more than just a vessel for sacred tablets. It was viewed as a physical manifestation of God's will, a tool of his direct intervention. As the Israelites advanced into Canaan, the Ark was said to aid them with supernatural power. One of the most famous stories tells of how the Ark halted the flow of the Jordan River, allowing the people to cross on dry land. It was also believed to bring God's wrath upon enemies and deliver victory in battles. Yet this immense power came with grave risks. When the Ark was stolen by enemies, they were plagued by disease, suffering, and death, forcing them to return it. After the Israelites settled and built their society, the Ark was first housed in Shiloh. Later, King David brought it to Jerusalem, and his son Solomon placed it in the Holy of Holies within the First Temple. But in 587 BCE, when Babylonian forces besieged Jerusalem, the Ark suddenly vanished from the historical record. From that moment on, the Ark of the Covenant ceased to be a physical relic and became an enduring mystery that has remained unsolved for centuries. Since then, historians, theologians, and adventurers have all tried to uncover the Ark's final resting place. One of the most popular and compelling theories suggests that the Ark is still hidden within the St. Mary of Zion Cathedral in Aksum, Ethiopia. According to this belief, the Ark was once safely brought to Ethiopia and has been guarded there ever since. Only a single monk, known as the Guardian, is permitted to see it. While the cathedral maintains this claim, no independent research or scientific investigation has ever been allowed. As a result, believers must rely solely on faith, oral tradition, and indirect evidence. In addition to this theory, other claims also exist. According to the second book of Maccabees, the prophet Jeremiah hid the Ark in a cave on Mount Nebo and declared that no one would find it until the time appointed by God. This view holds that the Ark will reappear only with the dawn of a divine age of mercy and a global spiritual awakening. Some religious scholars believe that the Ark will only come to light with the arrival of the Messiah. This moment would coincide with the salvation of the righteous and mark the beginning of a new divine era. Other more apocalyptic theories suggest that the Ark will re-emerge during the final days of the world, serving as a heavenly sign of God's ultimate judgment. The Ark of the Covenant may still be hidden somewhere, perhaps in a cave, perhaps deep within a sacred temple, or perhaps only as a symbol that touches the mind. Maybe it has already been found and is being kept from humanity in a mysterious place. Today, we've witnessed a story that echoes not only through the pages of history books, but also through the dust-covered files of classified documents. The fact that an ancient and sacred relic like the Ark of the Covenant was once sought through psychic means by a modern intelligence agency marks one of the most unexpected intersections in history. A divine object from thousands of years ago, and a contemporary intelligence organization trying to find it through focused mental effort. This meeting doesn't just blur the lines between past and present, it reshapes the boundaries between science and belief. This CIA-documented mission raises questions not only about an intelligence operation, but about the very limits of human perception. So what do you think this was? A real discovery, or the rewriting of a myth hidden within modern history? Was the Ark truly found? Or is it, like a secret, waiting to be seen only by those who are ready? Please share your thoughts in the comments. If you enjoy content like this, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and like the video. Until next time, as we explore the unknown together on the discovery of mystery, stay curious.